Guys, only one United. Man United Women, fan channel, whatever you want to call us, YouTube, fans gathering. That's what we are. We're just here to talk about the team that we love. And unfortunately, I'm really, really worried about the team that I love. I'm really worried. Not the girls, I think they're doing everything they can do. And I even think Marc potentially is doing everything he can do, but for me, it's gone too far. Enough's enough. I'm tired. I'm having the same debates I had 3 years ago, and I just don't know where to go. And I'm seeing the same patterns, and it's frustrating. It's hard. I just want to say hi, Karen, who's saying she's looking forward to it. Hi, Vix. Hi, Sam. I can see an early question, and I'm going to go to questions. And listen, guys, you know what to do. Get in the comments. It's already about 30, nearly enough of you on. So, drop a like, get into it. Lanzel, Namrata.
Yeah.
How are you two guys? Come to you, Lanzel. Talk to me.
Wow, where do I start? Listen, you know me, straight talking. I think Skinner, no matter what happens this season, I think that's it. He's taken us to where he needs to take us, and we need to move on. Simple as that. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that for me. We'll get into it. Obviously, I'm not gonna get explosive yet, but everyone knows how I'm feeling on Twitter. It's Skinner out for me now. I'm sorry. 10 matches, 5 wins, 3 draws, 2 losses. Yeah, like we can get into it. So yeah, I think no matter what happens, I think he's done amazing from last season to where he can take us. But we need new blood, man. We need new ideas. We need to move forward now. We need to get to that next level. We need to start competing for the league properly. We need to start getting into the Champions League regularly and start competing, and not having people like Matt Beard be saying that, oh, once we get rid of the press, we had them. Matt Beard, like mate, you're all right. So nah.
Yeah, I know it is like that, and I think I've heard similar comments before from other managers. And it's hard. It's hard because you know how good these players are. But a lot of them either they don't know what they're doing, or the coaching wrong, or Holly's saying, "Hey, bring back Martin Ho." We know how important Martin was. We know how good he was. We know he was like the glue in it, and it's tough. Violin RVA saying agree, not good enough with this squad. Vicky, Skinner out. I'll spend 500k and be much worse. Skinner, okay, but not top quality. And I do think he is okay, and I do think he inherited a very good squad, very good, because people like Honor and all that in it, and I don't think Honor is just the reason, but I think with everyone, Honor can be that kind of ball progressor. And I know a lot of people say it. I don't really understand it, but now I see it. Yes, she moved the ball forward. I think Jade is still amazing, and I feel like she is that thingy, but who can replace Honor? And it's like one player, though, shouldn't determine your whole team. So then you think, where's the style of play? What have we been doing? We was just get it to Honor and yeah. I mean, Nam, talk to us from India. It's late there, and you wanted to come on this show to just, like you say, it's to talk about it. How do you feel?
Last match was absolutely horrific. Like, I think with all the Russo and Marriott's thing, from this season onward, it was like, oh, Arsenal is like our new biggest rival right now. Like for me, like at one point, it was like even bigger than Manchester City. And I never imagined that we will get beat by Liverpool, because Liverpool are our biggest rivals as a club, and we are level on points with them. Like this club got relegated 2 years back. We're level on points with them. Horrific start to the season. I don't know what Colette Roche, who's the CEO of United, I don't know what she was saying in fan forum, that we had a fantastic start to the season. Like, I think she doesn't follow the women's team. That can be the only explanation of why she said that. But, not. I think we'll go to the details later on as we discuss the whole thing. But I think for me, it's Marc Skinner. I think it's time to go. Like, and as Lanzel was saying, like Matt Beard, Matt Beard was saying that it's very easy to beat our press. I remember some years ago, I don't know if it was under Casey Stoney or if it was under Marc Skinner, but there was a group of West Ham players, and they were on the away bus, and they said that we don't fear Manchester United's midfield. And it was maybe, I think it was 2 years ago, 3 years ago, who knows? But that just tells you that in 3 years, nothing has moved. We're just there, at least in the midfield position. Like West Ham don't are not scared of us. Liverpool are not scared of us. So who is scared of us? Yeah, not great.
Listen, I know Lansdowne remembers that because me and him at that time were fuming that they were saying that.
It was West Ham. Yeah, I was
West
going
Ham.
crazy. See, I didn't even listen. That's why I lost my hair, people. I was going absolutely mad. Yeah, them times we had Jackie in the listen. West Ham saying that we haven't got a best midfield. It was crazy that time. But let's get to the midfield. Let's get straight into it because we're talking the same thing we're saying. Where is the balance? Is Mark overdoing it? Is he overthinking it? Or is he just playing people in their wrong positions? Or is it all three? Because I don't understand where the balance is in that midfield and what's going on. We can't be getting beaten by Liverpool. I'm sorry, rival aside and whatever. Look where we are in our establishment in the WSL to look where they are. I don't care what anybody says. Our midfield should be controlling games like that at home with the brilliant crowd that we have. Yeah, against Liverpool. I'm sorry, but we should be doing it. It's as simple as that. So the balance is wrong. We've talked about that before. We've talked about is people playing in square pegs and round holes. You know, I think Mark's overthinking it this season as well. You know, yes, there's a lot of pressure. Of course, we're fans. We're gonna put pressure on you because we want to win. But play the same style of play that you was playing. What got us second? Don't tell me because Russo and Honor's gone that our team is gone and our team is finished because of two players and we got a potential third one going in January as well. The people that you're signing as well, you're not even playing them, or they're injured, or you're playing them out of position, or you think that they play for one position, but they're absolutely crazy. But yeah, sorry guys.
No, it's my fault. I took you out by accident on my thing. Listen.
Sorry.
No, it's true. No, I didn't even do it. I pressed it by accident. My finger went over. I'm sorry.
I'm finished now anyway. Carry on.
No, but it is that, isn't it now? It is that where we've had these conversations, talked about balance. I mean, I think at the City game, there was a lot of talk about. I've listened to the Gold Diggers podcast. I think Moyo, who's been on this show before, was saying it, and a lot of them girls like there's not a lot of style of playing in the midfield. Do we know really? You know, Zellum is really good, and she got a lot of qualities. But then when you play with Lisa, it's like they both want to bomb forward. They're both that kind of 8 kind of player. And then so who's the 6? Hayley Ladd. And Hayley Ladd was good, is good. I still rate Hayley Ladd, but then. You know, Moya was saying, should we get a 6? Or why are we not buying one? I mean, I think Irene, is she a 6? I don't know. I know that a lot of Spanish people say she isn't, but she probably could do that job. And yeah, there's been injuries and all that kind of thing. And I can see lots of people now talking about, you know, Jace Mallard, the midfield here is basically lost large parts of the game. I mean, look at Hinny now. She was coming into it. But again, it's an attacking kind of midfielder, and I'm not saying we don't need attacking midfield, but like Lanzel's saying, balance. We need that kind of attacking and defending. You know, we need someone whose sole job is potentially just defending that goal in the midfield. But does he play that? I don't know. I don't think he does, because Ladd sort of was like that under Casey, but now she seems to be moved forward. I'm not saying it's not a good thing. It's good when Ladd breaks up. I mean, she looked really good versus Spurs, but Ladd should be the one sitting. Ladd doesn't. I love Ladd scoring goals, but she shouldn't need to go forward and score goals. You know, look, Irene not really a 6, so you know I think she's good, Irene. But like, if she's not a 6, then we don't need another 8. You know, it's weird. I just want to come to you now on the midfield. I hope you're all right with that. Me coming to you on this. I mean, a lot of people are saying a lot of things. A lot of people are frustrated. You know, disjointed. It's time for Ladd, Nelson and Toon. And that's our best midfield. I mean, what do you think about the midfield so far? Because I'm tired of having this conversation, to be honest.
Yeah, I think with Zellum, right? So I think she's a good player. I genuinely think like there are some things that she's really good at. That she obviously has weaknesses of her own. But I was looking at a stat when I was like looking up all the stats of playing minutes. I just realized that since Marc Skinner has been a manager at United, Katie Zellum has only been subbed out once, and that was in the 85th or 86th minute. So That's all. Like, she has played every single game in the league, and she's only missed out on 4 minutes of league action. So it's not just that, we're not saying that don't play her, but it's about, you have to rest her sometimes, right? Like, she's not like Bruno Fernandes, right? Who's absolutely critical. Like, Bruno Fernandes plays every game and he runs throughout the whole pitch. He gives everything. Zellem is not that kind of player. She's not as fast as we want her to be. And I think we saw that in the Liverpool game. I don't remember who it was. It was maybe Lawley or somebody. And she was basically making a run on the right wing. And Zellem was also running, and I think Hannah Blundell was running as well. And it was like watching in slow motion. And you have to remember that she played 90 minutes in the league game against Spurs. She played 90 minutes against Leicester in the Conti Cup. Why did we have to play her in Conti Cup? Why can't we use that Conti Cup fixture to experiment with different stuff? And especially when you only have 4 fit midfielders. So why do you play Zellem for 90 minutes and then you play Zellem again for 90 minutes in against Liverpool, when you can actually see she's so tired? And when you look at the other 2 midfielders, yes, that game needed Lisa Nalsson to be subbed in because we needed that balance. We needed somebody to like thread those passes. And I think she played some good passes when she came on. But the 2 midfielders who were actually having a good game were Tooney and Hayley Ladd. And he subbed out both of them. We were looking for a goal, he subbed out Mallard. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, if you look at the players who have scored a goal in the past few games, it's been Hayley Ladd, Mallard, uh, Tooney has scored a goal. All the goal scorers were subbed off. And the only reason that was done was to keep Zellem into the midfield. And I think the reason we do that is because of set pieces. But I think it's about time that Manchester United, as a club who have ambitions of playing in the Champions League, should not rely on set pieces to win us games in every match. I also think that, we have hyped like Rachel Williams a lot, and but it's like every single match she's getting subbed on earlier and earlier. So the whole point of Rachel Williams is that she comes in the last 10-15 minutes, last 10 odd minutes, and she scores like a 90th minute goal, right? But if you sub her on in the 70th minute, 65th minute, that loses the whole point of having a super sub. So I think it's not just the midfield, to be honest. I think we have good midfielders, but it has to be, you have to play according to the opposition, you have to play according to the situation. And it's about the whole team as well. Like, when Jay-Z came on, the midfield was changed. There was no balance. The forwards did not have any balance. It's not just the midfield, it's like everything. This is Marc Skinner's 3rd season, and he like says all of this about, oh, this is the style that I want to play, but every single season he's played a different style of football. So what exactly is his style of football? And yeah, I don't know. Just very, very disappointing. I don't know, 2.5 years. I don't know why we are. It's like we're back to his first season. We're playing exactly like we did in his first season.
Right. And he had that one style of play with Honor as the ball progressor. Let's say he would drop deep, hold it up, someone would get in. It's that kind of thing. You touched on Jason, Rachel Williams, and people are saying it in the comments and stuff. But from what I've heard, what happened at that game, I don't know if it's true. This is just thoughts. This is me third hand saying what people have seen who were sitting above the bench. And they said to me that I saw it. Jace, Lisa, and Lucia went to warm up. They were warming up. Jason, sorry, just eating a chocolate. Jason and Lucia were called back. And it was like, right, going through it. Jason had already gone through all the plan. You're going to go there. Taking off a training top. Apparently, Rachel Williams was like, come on, woo, hyping up Jace to come on. We know that they love each other and all this. And Jace was really happy, smiling ear to ear. She was on the bench, but she was still smiling. She was coming on. I don't know what time they came on. It was like 60th minute, wasn't it? But she was ready. And then just, I don't know what happened. Bang, no, you sit back down. Rachel Williams is coming on. And, I mean, I don't know. Maybe he did communicate it well. Maybe he didn't. But from that moment, apparently Jace was just devastated, which I can understand. And You know,
I
you've been
think, I think the same thing also happened with Wildeboy Risa once, I think last season. I don't remember which game it was, but I think somebody said like she was supposed to either not start because she never starts, but she was supposed to come on, and then at the last moment she was not.
I mean, this then turns into the point that I'm going to put here. Man management, it's not fair. Ponsi puts on the fire and then on other people, and I do agree. I think this is referring to Zelen, but yeah, I just think the management of him and the players is not good. It's something that I've heard regularly. I mean, people are talking about Martin being the glue, Martin being the tactics. I know Martin did a lot of like team meetings, would sit down, talk to them. I mean, he ended up doing it in the end, maybe because he realised that players wanted it again, because he's ended up saying, oh, you know, I had a meeting with Tooney. But these things used to happen regularly. Martin would do it. And I think that's the sort of, not the hangover, but that's what Casey used to bring in. We know how big it was, Casey, and making everyone feel happy and everyone knew their roles and all that kind of thing. And whether she was good, the right one, or whether she's going to come back, I don't know. That's by the by. But you know, I think she was good at everyone knowing what was what. Whether you were a starter or not, at least you knew. And then at least she brought people in, brought people out. You know, this kind of thing. I mean, Jeremy, he always blames the players. He never takes it is something about that. It is, you know.
That's a big point. That's a very, very big point. If you listen, I don't want my manager, yeah. Like if I'm the manager of Man United, it's my tactics, it's my players, it's who I want to put down in the first team, it's who I want to be on the bench. If we lose, it's my, you know, like he never says, oh, but you know what, I got that wrong there. You know what? Sorry to the fans. It's all a PR spill. This club has become a PR spill, and it's actually pisses me off. Sorry, but it is. Yeah. And the thing is, right? It's a case where it's like, listen, you could say, you know what, that result there is a bad result. My fault. I'll rectify it, and we'll go again. Because we know the girls are gonna play for the badge anyway. I don't know if they're playing for Skinner. I said that before. They're playing for the club. I don't even know if some of the signings was his signings. I think they were club signings. I really do believe that. But it is what it is. But how many times are we going to question man management for one manager that's been here over 3 seasons? Like, there must be some sort of truth or some sort of something going on, because every time we question the midfield, we're questioning man management. If you see the other game as well, Mayor's getting frustrated now, which is worrying me now. Yeah, because she's getting the ball passed out to her by Mary, and then she can't feed the ball into the midfield. So now she hits the long ball. I mean, I've got to chase onto the long ball, whether that's to Galton, whether that's to Jace, whoever's up front, you know. And you can see some sort of, not disconnect between the girls, but there's something going on. There's something going on, because it's not been right all season. Yes, we've played well against some of the lesser teams, but like I said, like we was going to say before, I think Nam's got some stats here. But listen, 10 matches in, 5 wins, 3 draws, 2 losses. 2 losses at home to Liverpool and Man City. That's 2-1, that's 3-1. And the draws have been Brighton, Leicester, and Arsenal. Arsenal we should have won, but it was a wonder goal. All right, maybe we give him that. But Leicester, come on, we should be beating them. Brighton, we should be beating them as well. And then the last game with Liverpool, 11 shots each, 2 on target. 2 on target the whole game with 60% of possession. So where's that ball possession? Where's that ball going then? Because we're not passing forward. We're not passing forward.
No, I agree. And I mean, another thing that I've been hearing recently is about like, you know, everyone's playing out of position. People are saying, and I think that what's happening is they're playing well in the Conti Cup, and maybe there's like little connections that are building up there. I think Lucia is building up well on the left, and then she might link with Jace, and you know they speak similar language. But then comes to the league team, and he says they were fatigued, so I made changes. But made changes back to the team that's already played, and like you say, Zellem's been playing non-stop. She didn't need to play that Conti Cup game. He could have easily gone with Lad and Lisa, and he didn't. And the thing with Lisa as well, I saw some stats from Tanu, who said that since she's joined, it's nearly coming up to a year now, she only made 6 appearances. And then someone said something. 3 of the appearances this year have been against the biggest games, so the 2 Paris ones and Man City. That's where she starts the games. and then obviously Conte. But you're not exactly letting her build up momentum. You're saying to her, "You're so important, and we need you to play in this game." Paris, our biggest game, Man City at home at Old Trafford, the biggest game we've ever had. But yeah, Leicester and Brighton, we're not even gonna just give you a little warm up thing.
And he bought her, right, for a world record fee. This is the problem. This is why I'm getting a bit scared about the transfer window as well, because it's like players will come to play for Man United because they support Man United, let's say, okay, or they want to play for the club. But you've got other managers. I don't know what Nam thinks about this, but you've got other managers, like for example, let's talk about Carla Ward. I'm sorry, but she's a prime example. Players go to Villa to play for her. They don't go to Villa to play for Villa. They go to Villa to play for her. So this is what my problem is because it's like you've got the narrative of big players leaving because this Lioness situation and this media around the Lioness. So that's a different story anyway, right? So you've got that going on, and you've got a whole club in a sense anyway, with a centralization of what our club's dealing with anyway. So you've got that going on, and then we're losing games as well. So the momentum and it's just right now it's just dire. We just need a new start, a new beginning. That's what we need, in my opinion. I don't know what Nam thinks about that though, Nam.
Yeah, go Nam. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it was the same with Casey Stoney as well. Like I was again looking at the transfer fees. So obviously we've spent a lot this summer, but I think I was kind of like, I think Marc Skinner has spent like 800k pounds on 6 players, and if you also add Mallard, who we're probably going to sign on a permanent, she's at least going to be 200k, so almost £1 million on players, and he signed 22 players, by the way, and you never get the sense that they have signed because of Marc Skinner. And I was thinking like Casey Stoney, so I don't have the stats for what Casey Stoney spent. The only player I can think of off the top of my head was 35k for Lotta Oquist. Everything else was free transfers. And she was able to get these players because they wanted to come and play for Casey. And it's not just the signings. So, Nat, we were talking about it this evening, but if you look at the contract extensions, right? Now, I know that contract extensions are dependent on the club as well. It's not just about the manager. But under Casey Stoney, we had 14 players given new contract. Under Marc Skinner, it's 5. So 2 years, Casey was able to give 14 contract extensions. Marc Skinner has given 5. Uh, it might be more in the rest of the season. I don't know that. But as of what has been confirmed, it's been 5. Now, I'm not saying it's 100% Marc Skinner's fault. But how can you say that, like under Casey Stoney, who had no football structure behind her, she used to do everything herself. Like she did not have the privilege to sit in a press conference and say, I don't know what's going on that side. I hope we extend Mary Earps. She was the one who went and extended Mary Earps. She was the one who went extended LJ, Toon, 14 players, right? And basically the team that Marc Skinner has right now, all his star players, Leah Galton, Millie Turner, Zellum, Ladd, Tooney, they are here at the club not because of him, but because Casey Stoney did the groundwork when she was there to extend their contract and make sure we retain them. And it's just, so I'll just come to the transfer bits that I was talking about, right? Like he has signed 22 players. That's almost a squad, a full squad of players. Out of these 22 players, 6 players have left the club, right? So $1 million spent, 22 players signed, 6 players have left the club. Casey probably like 35k, 100k, so at least 10, 15 times more than he has spent more than Casey has spent. Then I was looking at, so if you look at since last season, since the summer of last season, which is when he finally got his own players, since that time, if you look at the minutes that players have been given, and if you rank them, 8 out of the top 10 players are Casey Stoney's players. 13 out of the top 20 players are Casey Stoney's players. So he signed a squad full of players, and still the majority of the players who get game time are Casey Stoney's players. And what about his signings? The 1 million that he spent on these signings, they contribute to 28% of the overall game time. And you know what the average, like all of Skinner's signings that he has made, on an average, get 33 minutes per game. So if you're like, if I am Polly Bancroft or whoever is handling recruitment at United, and I hear Marc Skinner saying that we have to invest in the transfer window so that we can keep up with all of these established teams, I say, you've been given a £1 million budget, 20 new players, you don't play them. The players you have are here because of Casey Stoney, right? And you've this is your third season at the club. You got fourth, you got second. This season, we're most likely going to finish fourth. So the only thing that he's done with that 1 million, which is 10, 15 times what Casey Stoney has spent, is to get a second, right? And it's like we wanted to get into Champions League for so long. I know it's PSG, but it's not the best PSG we've ever seen. They were very much beatable. It's fine, we get knocked out, but we actually played really well at times against PSG, right? And that came about because of the players that he signed. So, Mallard, Jays, Miyazawa, Gabby George, home leg, away leg. What does he do? He doesn't play them in the same formation again. So I would not trust Mark Skinner with any transfer budget that he has, right? Like, is it how Manchester United are going to do the transfer windows? Like, I get it that we have a lot of injuries. We have, like, I think 3 or 4 injuries in midfield. We have 3 injuries in defense. So let's say we go out in January and we sign 3 or 4 players. What happens when the players come back from injury? Is this how we do transfers? That every summer there's going to be a massive player out and we're going to sign 10 players and then we're going to not play them or they get injured. So in January we sign even more players. That's not Manchester United. And as much as like Mark Skinner likes to say that uh, it's the Manchester United way, the job at Manchester United every day is weighing on my mind. I don't think it does. I don't think he understands what this club is about. I think he doesn't understand what the fans' expectations are, and he definitely doesn't understand what the players want and for them to feel valued by him.
Yeah, I mean, Sam has just said you've hit the nail on the head, 100% correct.
Yeah.
What can we say? What can we say? I mean, Zoe Media House is saying Martha couldn't hit the barn door, but for me, I think Martha came out and said it herself. It's about feeling valued and respected, and sort of what we touched on earlier about player management and the story that I just said occurred. Like if you're sort of being told you're coming on and you're coming off and you're not being given the minutes, and I mean, to be fair to Martha and in Wade to Skinner, he was giving them, because I feel like last year he didn't really, he's added little tiny bits, when he first came in. They all weren't his players, and that's what he used to say, oh, when I get my player, oh, this and that, these, he used to make them excuses. Now, like you're saying, 20 players, it's his squad pretty much, but he's still playing Casey players, and I think that's because they've got the best connection with each other. They've got the best connection, and he's just reaped the rewards in a way of Casey, like you're saying, that long-term planning to keep all like Leah and Lad and all these players that have played together for years and years and years, and he just said, and Martin's been there with them, and he just said, bang, go. And now he's brought in players. And I mean, a lot of people are saying, oh, of course it takes time to build. Of course it does. But Robert Wilhelm came in, made them feel valued. Someone's talked about Grayson, thingy looking good. Even Vilda looks good and she's gone somewhere else. No one else signs players and doesn't play them. I don't understand. And lots saying the club have given her a lot of money. I mean, the only thing I want to counter, I suppose, John saying, are they his players? And I think, for me, John, I've known that a lot of the players, there's like a team. It's not just, say, Mark that goes out where it was. I think that you were right now. I think Casey did go out and say, I want this, I want that. And I think, in a way, it's like a Fergie, and people are saying that's not how modern day football works anymore. And I agree. I don't think it should just be one person, Mark, going out and saying, I want these players. We see with Ten Hag, it doesn't really work. It does need to be a collective thing. And what I think happens is they look at, I mean, I've heard it. I think John Merton's sort of saying it. They say a position, they scout a load, and then they narrow it down the closer it gets to the window, and they start like saying, right, these are the top 3 targets. And I know Martin was heavily involved in that. I think there's a guy called Lawrence who's heavily involved in that. But Mark will be involved. Mark talked about Jace and watching her in the whatever game when Lionesses played. He talked about Jade and watching her in that game when they came over in the Arnold Park. So I agree. Maybe not all of them are fully his. That's my top choice. But I think his team are heavily involved in it. So Miyazawa, I think, was Lawrence and Martin was big on that, big on that signing, pushing for that one. Grace, I think Martin was pushing for that one. Maybe Lisa, she was putting that, Vicky saying Gemma Evans, is that his signing? I don't know. I don't know what's happening, but I do think there is, I don't think he's necessarily his signing, you know what I mean? But I think it's a collective one where he agrees. If he didn't want it, he could say no. I don't think it's like you want a thing, so we're just going to shove this one and that's it, and you have to deal with it. I think he is involved. And I mean, Lanzell, when you're hearing people say that, E-Wheel saying he's agreeing with me, I think it's one what. Sun Devil saying our recruitment has improved. I mean, what do you think, Irene? Was she a signing? We miss her. Yeah, we miss her. What do you think, I suppose, on what Namra has said, and then just, I suppose, what the little conversations we've had then?
No, I agree. I agree with what people are saying in the comments. I agree with what Nam's saying, and I agree with what you're saying, Nat. But the thing is, as well, with the club, I think a lot of the signings as well, especially this season anyway, I don't think they were his signings. I think they were club signings to say, this is what we're in the Champions League. We're going to spend big, and you're a coach. So if I give you these players, you coach these players to the style of play that you're supposed to implement at Man United. That's what I think. So when we've got a Hinnie, Tooney, we've got Jay-Z, we've got Mallard, and etc. He now needs to say okay, what's the strengths of these players and play them to his system. And I think he's still trying to find that out. But unfortunately, as a manager at United or in the football game period, you haven't got time to find that out. We've got 22 games and we've already lost 2 and drawn 3. We're out of the title race already. We're 7 points behind Chelsea. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So at the end of the day, the fans do have a right to say, well, why are we drawing these games? Why are we losing these games? There's been some games in the Conti Cup when we've blitzed teams, when we look very good. And the plan A is working to a T. But once you get a manager that finds out his plan A, I want to know, what's the plan B? Hit it long. What's the plan C? What we doing? I don't understand what we're doing. It's just the same thing. It's like we're panicking. We're hitting it long, trying to run onto long balls for plan B. Everyone knows that the keeper's gonna get it. We're gonna hit it to Mayor. We're gonna hit it to Millie, or we're gonna try hit it into Zellem. Zellem's by herself in a deep lying position, which I don't think is her position anyway. I think she's being played out of position. You know what I mean? And then one mistake, boom, they're onto us. It's a goal. That's how the Leicester goal was. Falling into Zellem. Zellem couldn't control it. I think Amy Wheeland, I believe her name was, she scored. Then we're already a 1 goal down, or they're drawing 1-1 or whatever the score was at that time. So this is what I'm trying to say. Like he's the manager of Manchester United. I'm sorry, but at the end of the day, as long as I'm alive and I support Manchester United, I'm in to win. No one remembers second. Nobody. It's as simple as that. Who's gonna remember second? When Liverpool was 99 points and Man City was 100 points, and everyone say, oh, Liverpool was great because they had 99 points. We don't care about that. Who won the league? That's it. We don't want to hear about more signings. You've got more signings. Deal with it.
Yeah,
Simple.
I agree. And I just want to come, I suppose, onto something that was posted earlier on. And I said I'd come back to it now, didn't I? Antonio, I don't even know if he's watching now. I think he put it, I don't even know when he put this comment, but he put it before I even came on the stream. Why should a manager go in the middle of the season? He's taken us to the highest league position. That is a relatively new team. And I understand why people might be saying this. Why are United fans? Because, like you said, Colette Roach, CO, whatever she is, we're doing well, we're 4th, we're still there. That was before the Liverpool defeat. And we had 1 defeat. And you know what? To be fair to her, it wasn't the best. It wasn't reading the room. She didn't really read the room. But at that point, I was saying to my friend, right, we're going into the, bang, yes, Arsenal drop points. We could have been 1 point behind Arsenal.
Exactly.
Well, it's not just like a case of, right, we're reacting now just because we lost to Liverpool. It's just the case of we actually were looking good versus Spurs. We looked good versus Leicester. I thought he was going to play Lisa Lad Tooney because I think, he's played Lisa, so what's going on? There must be a reason why he's playing Katie Zellum. There must be some kind of reasons. We're looking good. Lucia's looked really, really good. I didn't think she looked good. She looked good at the start, then she dropped off. But then in the Conti Cup, she's found back her form. And like I was saying about these connections are forming. So I thought, we're going to see something. What all we saw was the same team at Spurs. And then he's talking about tired and needing players. Yeah, we know we need players because we've had fullback injuries. We needed that even without the injuries. We needed a fullback. But it is that kind of thing. What's going on? I think a manager does do something. A manager can impact. Like I'm saying, Robert, people come in at halfway points and make impacts. We've seen it, in the men's game enough. We've seen it in the women's game even. When Spurs sacked Rhian Skinner, they ended up saving themselves. You know what I mean? There's talk that Rhian Skinner now might get sacked again, and West Ham might need to save themselves. So, people saying, "Oh, why should we? Why should we?" I mean, what do you say to people saying this kind of thing now?
I think I don't think he'll go in the middle of the season. I think it's because I think United in general are not as invested in the women's team as the men's team. So if it was the men's team manager, maybe they would have made a decision. But with women's team, I think maybe what might happen is that his contract will just not be renewed. So contract ends this season, he goes. That's if we don't get top three. But and I think Lott had this comment that I think it's the overall philosophy because one, as I said, 2.5 years, I don't know what our playing style is. When all the players are available as they were at the start of the season, we didn't really look that great. Okay, we had a lot of new players that we have to bed in, but we don't have a style. The new players who come in have to do a 6 month internship. So we're not moving like a new team, right? If you're a new team, you can't afford to have new players spend 6 months on the bench to learn our culture, right? If you're a new team, you get new players, you start them immediately. He doesn't do that. uh, Another thing is that if you look at, I actually think Mark Skinner should not have been signed in the first place. Because I think if we had stuck by Casey Stoney, if she hadn't left, I think we would have got second itself. Because we got second largely because of the players that she signed. And even though her playing style, she didn't play out from the back or anything, but she was very smart in how she approached every game. So we didn't have 6 months under her. So she was, very pragmatic in that sense. So I think, yes, Skinner did get second, but I do think we overachieved. There were a lot of last minute winners. The issues that we are seeing right now, they haven't come now. They were there last season as well. It was just that Rachel Williams was doing a madness. Russo was scoring last minute goals, and that's why we kind of we overperformed last season. We probably shouldn't have come second, but we did. And Manchester City had a pretty bad season. But now, when everyone is full strength, we're level with Liverpool, right? Liverpool got relegated 2 years ago, and they've matched with us. So, it's not about a relatively new team. I think for the next manager, whenever that is, the biggest mistake we made with Mark Skinner was to hire a manager who was probably more or less at the same level as Casey Stoney. Like, I think Casey Stoney is better overall because she's shown that in NWSL, but more or less it was the same, right? Not having a proven record of winning trophies and taking Birmingham to top three with low budget, top four or top three, whatever it was. So we needed to upgrade when Casey Stoney came in, but we didn't. We sort of stagnated. And I think that is the reason why forget about everything and you just think, is Mark Skinner the man who can win us the league one day? That's it, nothing else. If you think he's the man who can win us the league, when? This year, next year, 3 years, whatever. But if you think he can't, there's no point sticking by him, right? And I know there's this thing that you should always back the manager while they're there. But I think, like in women's football, where the season is so short and the game is growing so much, and that you have this amazing opportunity to be at the forefront of this growth, like how Manchester United did with the Premier League. Like when the Premier League, when the money started flowing in, United invested, had amazing 30 odd years with Sir Alex Ferguson. We need to be doing that now. So right now, I don't think Marc Skinner is the coach, and we should just like cut our losses and look for somebody who's one level above even Casey Stoney and Marc Skinner. You're on mute, Nat.
I don't know. Yeah, people are saying, are the players happy now? Barca manager has a job lined up, but I think it came from my question that I put on before. I do agree. I don't know what you think, Lancel. I do think that they will give him till the end of the season, and I think that's mainly because we know Ineos are coming in. We're waiting for it to happen. Should have happened already. Now they're saying after New Year because, Christmas, New Year, so it's not going to happen until 2024 when they come in. There's talk. I mean, I've said it to you, haven't I, that there's, a lot of focus is on Ten Hag, and I've heard Ten Hag's going to get till the end of the season, and then obviously they'll evaluate it. But they have a lot of backup plans already. We're hearing stuff about Carlo Ancelotti. I'm not getting into the men's, but that's what that's what they're doing for the men, and you would hope that that's what they're doing for the women as well. The fact that he hasn't signed a contract, I agree with Nam. I think they're just gonna, it is what it is. See it out, and then whether they even give him a fullback. I mean, I think a fullback is necessary anyway, or if that's just all they give him, and they don't get a 6. I mean, a fullback and a 6 would be nice, but that's the kind of thing. I mean, people are already saying it now. Carmelia Moscato, and I'm butchering these names. I'm really sorry. Reynold Paredes are upgrades who are available. I mean, who do you want to see? Someone said, "Oh, that's the Barca manager is not available," and he's not going to manage in Europe. But I mean, like these are names that we're hearing. What do you think? I don't know if you got that in your list, or I don't know if you want. Yeah.
No, like I've got my top 3. Whether we get them or not, we just put down the money. That's basically what it is. But now, just touching on what you're saying now, and touching what Nam was saying again, I do agree. I think Man United anyway, they don't do their business like that in not for the women's game anyway. About sacking a manager in January, I don't see that happening. I think you give him the season, you let it ride out, you see where we come, maybe get a trophy if we can, and you say, "Oh, thank you very much, you've taken us this far, but we're moving on, and you're another part of our history moving forward," kind of thing. Do you get what I mean? But I think everything's gone stale. Does that make sense? So it can't be the same ideas, the same training patterns, etc. It needs to be, like, not every Monday are we going to be doing the same thing. There needs to be some sort of variation or some sort of change or something. There needs to be some sort of new blood or some new ideas or something. Because right now, the players are not taking on what he wants them to do. In some games, yes, but in most games now, I just believe that our plays become stale. We're not moving the ball quick enough in some games sometimes. Players' frustration a lot this season has been a worry for me. It's been a big worry. You can see sometimes Tooney's in games, she's frustrated. Maya is a big worry. She was frustrated in certain games. There's question marks over Mary. There's a whole heap of question marks on just everything in general. So I do believe that, obviously, fingers crossed, as Man United fans, we do get some news moving forward in the new year about the takeover, whether it's Ineos, whether whoever it is, as long as they've got their best interests at heart with United. And also with the women's team, they will spend money. I think you have to spend money now the way the game is going. So I don't think we should be worried in that sense. It's just about who's taking us forward and what structures are in place. And I'm hoping that as a team, as United, we can just move forward and just say, right, you know what? This is the new structure in place. We've got new ideas. This is what we're going to do. And then we move forward from there. But yeah, I don't see... You never know. Maybe Mark might turn it around. Who knows? And if that's the case, then it's United. But for me personally, no matter where he comes, he could even win the league. It's just go. Because I just think it's just stale now. I just think it's stale now. You know, sometimes it's like that. You get a manager that will take you so far, and then you just need somebody new now to say, right, we're starting again. Thank you very much. And and we'll always be grateful for him to get us to our highest league position, FA Cup final, etc. But now we need someone that's gonna just take us that step further, and we push on. But the relatively thing about us being new and all that kind of thing, in my opinion, it's only my opinion, I think it's a cop out. I think it's no point being new now. We're established, top 4, top 3, yeah, and we need to be winning. Taking part is not good enough for this club. I'm sorry, it's not.
No,
it's not. And we have to have the same standard. If we've got the same standard for the men's, we need the same standard for the women. It's as simple as that. Yeah, we're one club, one mentality, united in the title. That's what we are. So if we've got the same standard for the men, we need the same standard for the women. If I expect the men to be winning the Premier League, even though we know where they're at now, I expect the women to be winning the WSL, and it's as simple as that.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. MUWSC's on Twitter. And guys, obviously, X, Twitter, whatever, you can get your comments in on there. If he turns it around, the players deserve better. I do agree. It's hard. I mean, what do you think, Nam? Do you think who do you think is going to come in? Who do you want to see? What kind of manager? Like you said, I agree with you in the upgrade, but tell us some names as well. Come on, if you don't know names, where do you think? I mean, someone's saying if there's a manager like Robert who's coming at Spurs, you take him. I mean, I'm not saying him, but he has won in Swedish league and done that kind of thing. I don't know who's winning in the Norwegian league now, but there will be managers like that about. And I think they need to be brave and pick someone like that no one's ever heard of, but they have a reputation of winning things, and I think maybe, I saw someone say, was Mark even the first choice? I know that they went after Pedro Losa, who was the Scottish manager now, and he's not even doing that well at Scotland, but, he had won things with Arsenal, and apparently at that time when he came, there was talk that the big budget wasn't big enough for him. So, yeah, United needs to step up in a way. I think they maybe have stepped up a bit. But there are top-class managers that are ready to come into the WSL and probably ready to take over this team because I think it's got top-class players in it. And like what I've just put, the one from X, players deserve better anyway, and unfortunately, I don't know. I worry a lot. I saw Charlie post before. I don't know if she's still in it, but there's people are now worried about Maya because of the way she walks around on her own, and she's never really done that. She's always with the team, and she was really frustrated. And I don't blame her because what Lenzel's saying, pumping it long, that's the only option. There's no thought in the playing, and she's just hoping that someone will get onto it, or when Lucia comes on, hoping that we can play. For me, a lot of the time, Jade was running on the wing and no one was getting it to her. And I don't know. It's hard. It's tough. You don't want it to spiral downwards. And then I hope that even if it does, they will wake up and they will do something. But like what you're saying, Lanzel, Ten Hag was about to be sacked, but he's semi-turned it round. Exactly.
Exactly.
And talk about him saving his job at Anfield. That's where we're at. Whereas Skinner, we're talking about, why is he still? Oh, you're expecting too much. Nam, I was going to come to you, but I don't know if you're there. Listen, Lanzel, tell me your manager. You said you got top 3. I want to hear it.
Well, the one that we can't get because she's going to stay with England. Obviously, I like Serena. Whether she would come into club football, I think, that's one. The other day, someone was saying to me, is it Beth Priestman, the Canadian lady? But I don't think she's managed in club football either. But at least it's a name that the women would know in the game. And that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that they disrespect Mark or anything like that, but they've got some sort of kind of pedigree in there. Martina, I'm going to butcher her second name now, but she's a German manager. And the French manager, and I forgot her name as well, I'll be honest with you. But they would be the ones for me to get. Obviously, I would like Thomas Stroop, but then I did say as well that I would like a woman manager to be managing the women's team. Does that make sense? So Maria Pryor was one, but I don't know about that now. I'm not sure what you think about that, Nat.
I think she's
I
done
think that
well.
time's gone.
What she's done it in the littler teams. You know, I think
Mm.
there's a girl called Natalie. I don't know. I mean, if my Spanish people are on and they watch, she's at Real Sociedad and she got them into the Champions League for the first time. Maria Pye did very well. People are saying no, not Martina.
No.
She had issues. See, we don't know. We don't know.
I don't know.
To admit we don't know. You know, we're happy to admit we don't know. I'm bringing Nam back in.
Exactly.
But
Yes, now.
it was smart. I think someone said. I think it was Vicky. I don't know if it wasn't Vicky. Let me know. But it was smart business that Tottenham did, and apparently they went into it. They looked into detail, but what they did is they gave themselves time, and I'm not sure if it would be worth maybe even just taking him out and just putting Charlotte there or putting someone. You see that they did with Ranić. I know it didn't do much, but
yeah,
change is better than a thing. And I am worried. I don't know.
Well, Charlotte's football with the youth, Nat. Yeah. That was the kind of football I was expecting to be. I was like, okay, we're cooking here. We're doing something great. So I don't know what's going on. That's the frustration thing as a fan. It's like, well, what can as fans, right? We go, we watch our team, we love our club, we support our club, how we support our club, and we want them to play a certain brand of football the United way. Yeah. And then we're seeing it one game, and then we're inconsistent in the other game, and then it's the silly little tweaks as well that he's doing as well, which I don't understand where the thought process is. It's like these are players that you have bought. Mallard is the number 9, and you're playing a right wing, and all. I don't get all that. It's like, do you want to be sacked? I don't understand it.
Nam, just before you went, we was talking about coaches. I mean, someone's saying here, the Roma coach, they are doing very, very well. But would they come to Man United because, of what's going on? But I would like to see that, and I think someone said it was show ambition if we did get a go. What names do you think? I mean, listen, it's fine if you don't know names, or what do you think, Nam, in terms of that?
I think, to be honest, I think where we are right now, if I compare it to men's football, we ideally need a coach like prime Jose Mourinho, somebody who comes in and guarantees trophies. But the problem is, I don't know if there is any such coach in women's football like Jose Mourinho, like the winning trophies part, not the horrible human being to his
Nam,
players.
there is one, but she's going to USA.
Yeah, right. So even Emma Hayes took time to get trophies and all of that. But I think we don't have any coach like Jose Mourinho in women's football. So I think the only choice we really have is we figure out how we want to play, and not the Skinner style of how we want to play, but literally how we want the team to progress. And you get a manager who does that. You look at the players that we have, and then you kind of get that manager. So Spurs manager Robert William. So I was finding stuff about him, and apparently he went to a Swedish men's team. I think maybe second or third tier, I don't remember, and he won back-to-back promotions with that team. Then he went to PK Huckins men's team as the assistant manager, and then he went to become the manager of their women's team, and then he left them and he went for Spurs. So, I think maybe even that could be a way to go. Maybe I would prefer somebody who has women's football experience, but if you can get somebody who's worked in both, that could work out pretty well. But I think what United as a team want right now is a manager who's a bit motivational for the players, right? Because I actually think our players are really good. I think the squad that we have is good enough for us to maybe, if not win trophies, but definitely challenge for trophies, right? And I think we need a manager who can just come in and bind everything together and see the obvious commonsensical things that's happening before his eyes, and somebody who can really motivate the players. Because as you're saying, right, Jace came in and she was really good. I used to enjoy watching her. She didn't score goals, I didn't care, but she was doing these tricks and flicks, and it was so much fun watching her. Mia Letizia, I don't like when my center backs have to tackle, and it's that's all she has become now. She plays long balls and she makes tackles, and that's not what Mia Letizia. She's a lot bigger than that. So I think our team is good enough. And I think more or less the way United should be, I think with Ten Hag as well, we'll probably, once Sir Jim Ratcliffe comes in, I think we'll probably have like a club level of football style. And I think we should go and get a manager. The only thing is, should we go for somebody who's established, who's won something? I don't know. And the Roma manager, I'm not completely sure, but I looked up and I think she's an ex-player uh, who's managing that. And we've already gone that way with Casey Stoney, right? Uh, Natalia Arroyo, she's also an ex-player. We've already done that with Casey Stoney. So it's a very difficult decision, and I think it's something that's going to take time. And that's why I also think they will not sack him mid-season, because they need time uh, to appoint a new manager. Uh, but I think they should be thinking about it now. Like, if they're not thinking about it, they're not serious about women's football.
I think they are definitely thinking about it. I think, like we said about the men's and the women's, maybe the men's need more work, because obviously this is a structure that is falling apart. Just doesn't work. But however that's right or wrong, but I do think they'll have contingency. I mean, anyone
I
who looks.
I just want to add one more thing. That so in the previous question, it was about why should Marc Skinner be like sacked mid-season theoretically. I think one of the reasons is because he's not making long-term decisions. He knows Mary Earps wants to leave. He knows she'll probably go in January. So why did he not give Fallon minutes in the league? Because he knows she's the one who's going to be here throughout the season. So why not do that, right? Why is he not like giving? He knows it's going to be like packed schedule and we have to win trophy this season. So why is he not mixing up or rotating his squad, right? Why did it take us so long to find an assistant manager? And why did that assistant manager is our assistant manager? Because he's Skinner's friend, right? So I actually think that the decisions that he's making are not for the long-term benefit of the club, because if it were, Mary Ups would not be playing for us in the league.
Yeah, it's horrible. It's hard. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think he's doing it for himself. Not himself like that, but like he wants to save his job. That's why. And I think he even made reference to Fallon would be playing, but Mary's so good. Blah blah blah. Yeah. I don't even want to get into that at the minute. Sorry, guys. I don't even want to get into that. I just want to say Vicky has put something. Ineos have done well recruiting a needs coach from another lower profile league, and they chose him because he's thriving based on their talent.
I don't blame you. Because I'm.
Go on. Were you saying something, Lanzel?
You going to me now?
Yeah.
Oh no, I was saying. Oh, I'm delayed. Sorry, I was saying. With Mary. Yeah, we won't go into Mary today.
Yeah. No
Yeah,
worries. Somebody here saying Renard Petros won 2 WUD and he's managed Morocco winning, got into the final. Yeah, I think they will be looking at people. They should be looking at people. They should be, hiring a good quality coach. Saw someone say about Carla. Well, I don't know if they'll do like hire a good quality coach that can be molded and put loads of team around them, or if bang, like you said, just get in that thing now. And I do agree with. I can't remember which one of you said, but there should be a club style and it should be the same. Men, women, we should play this way, and this is Man United, and this is what we expect in terms of, players coming through and signing players and not, like you said, wasting them. That seems to be happening. I think Ineos coming in will put in more structure for the women. I think there is semi-building up a structure, but like you said, Casey had no structure before, so it's tough. I know Lanzel's dropped out. He's probably going to come back in a minute, but I'm just saying now. I don't know. Now I think we've said a lot. It's tough. I don't want to go over it and over it and over it, because we all know. I just want to, I suppose, give you, and then when Lenzel comes back in, he can have his, but just give a bit of the the last words and I suppose views on people saying he should stay, views on managers that should come in, and just I suppose what you want to see for the new year for Man United.
I just want to say that, with United, we have this thing like, oh, it's a new team, like relatively new team and all of this. And we're all like, oh, we've got second, which is our best ever season. And it was our best ever season, right? But then you look at, it's not always that a manager needs 3 years to like settle himself to the squad. Look at what Martin's doing with Brand. I think they got, for the first time, group stages in the Champions League. They scored a goal against Lyon. This team right now, this season, we're not scoring a goal against Lyon, right? So you look at Robert Willeham, first time beaten Arsenal. Matt Beard with a much lower budget beat Arsenal, beat Chelsea last season. We haven't beaten Chelsea ever in our entire existence. So I think it's been quite a while. It's our 6th season, or was it our 5th season? I don't know. But that's more than enough for us. And I think, at least for the fans, if the club's not going to do it, at least for the fans, it's important to demand that the expectations be set high. And it's not about Skinner, right? If he gets his act together and we have a good second half of the season, it's fine if he stays or not. But I think United as a club should not be in a position where we're saying top 4 is good enough. We should be getting into Champions League every season. And yeah, we got out of PSG. We got knocked out of Champions League by PSG. But Manchester United should not be thinking about PSG like it's like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer got through PSG, who had Neymar, Mbappe, and so on. So, it's the United way, right? And for me, I don't think Marc Skinner is the man to take us to trophies. Maybe we'll get the odd FA Cup or Conti Cup, maybe. I don't even know if we'll advance, by the way. We need to at least draw with City to get out of Conti Cup. But I don't think sustained success in the league, I don't think it's going to come with Marc Skinner. I don't know who is going to bring that, but I think what we have seen from different managers, it's a very good indication that, the best candidate, we might actually not know who it is. Maybe we get somebody and maybe like 5 years down the line, like Martin comes back and he's the manager, or who knows. Yeah.
Norway FC, yeah. That's what we need. That's what we need, yeah. Yeah, my guy. Anyway, listen. What we saying, Lanzel? Obviously, we're just wrapping up the last words. I've not kept on the comments, sorry, since people. But listen, this isn't a show to say, wow, we want Mark out. I mean, I think as well, there's a lot been talked about the fans, and they've said this, and fans are going to voice their opinions. That's what fans are going to do. And I think after the City game, I was just so upset. And I think the Liverpool game, it wasn't, I didn't feel anything. It's been coming. It's what we've been expecting. And, then the comments by Matt Beard, it was just, I think he's just saying we need a long-term plan. We're not winning anything this season.
I agree.
It's sad, Lanzel, because what we expected from this season was big things, and it's just gone backwards. And it's, whether it's Martin, whether it's this, Honoured, Rosa, I don't give a damn what it is. I want you to change it. Yeah. So you've had your first 6 months. It's been a disaster for me. Sorry. Now it's time to show. If you want to stay here, if this means a lot to you and it's your best job, blah blah blah, show up. Just I mean, like I said, people will say we're this, we're that, whatever. No, we're just passionate fans, just sitting here, just wanting the best. And in a way, I read those comments by Collect Roach, and I thought, shit, maybe I care more than them. But when I was told to start supporting the women's team in 2018 by Casey and Rachel Brown and Shivy and all these people, come on, it's just the same and all this. Well, it's not, and it's sad to see. It's sad to see. I'm sure. Well, we know that Casey knows it's sad to see. I'm sure that Rachel Brown and Shivy probably feel the same, because there was so much promise at the start. There's so much potential still. So it is. It's tough. It's hard. But doesn't mean we're still going to be watching the next games. And I mean, you talked to me at the start of the year about the next 5 games. It doesn't look good, but we want them to turn it around. We want them to win. We want them to go and get 30 points. Not 30, would it be? I'm not even good at maths, but we want to get full points. We're going to go again. That's what we're going to do. So want to see that change. Just the last words, I suppose. Those were my last words, I suppose. What's your last words, Lanzel?
Just last words from me. Merry Christmas to everyone. Happy New Year. We're United fans. We're passionate United fans. We're allowed to criticize the club. We're allowed to praise the club. We just want the best for the club. From January onwards, it's going to be a very, very, very tough season, but exciting season. Maybe a lot of changes in the club, hopefully, fingers crossed. And then we'll take it from there at the end of the day. We'll take it from there, but the expectation is to win. And if you're at a club at United and you're not expected to win, then I don't know what club you're at, basically. So it's as simple as that.
Yeah, 100%. I just want to say thank you for everyone who's tuned in. Yes, happy holidays. I hope everyone has a good one, good Christmas, good New Year. We're going to be in Malta, so you might not see me for a bit, but I'll be turning up there. And we're all going to have a good time. I think we need that. I think we need that again to get back together and have that fun with each other in the sun and then go into it and start again. And yeah, NT saying it. Oh, Merry Christmas. But yeah, hit that like button. We've had 50, 60. There's about 36 people now. I don't know if there's more on the X. Come on, hit the like. It helps us. More views on this show, whatever you want us to talk about. When we start hearing the transfer rumours, we'll start doing more shows. Sam, if, these are people that I've seen names all the time on the show, and it was a great show. Antonio, he's back at the end. Patience with the team. Listen, we have it. I hope you watched it all because we addressed your point at the start, brother, as well. But yeah, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Any holiday you celebrate, have a good one. Nam, where can the people find you if they want to? And do you want to shout out your cards as well that you did?
Yeah. I made the ACL cards. It's get well soon cards, but like for the players who got ACL injury, and I hope we never have to make another one again. But if we ever do something like this, I'll just reach out to people on Twitter. So do follow my Twitter account. It's @Namrata_YTV. You'll probably find me if you're even a little bit active on Twitter.
Yeah.
So yeah, Merry Christmas, everyone, and hopefully you have a good Happy New Year.
Yeah. And Lanzel, where can people find you? You've got
your right in the bio, right there on Twitter @Lanzel Junior 05. You'll get me talking about Twitter about United. So yeah, there you go. That's me.
Yeah. No worries, guys. Thank you for everyone for watching. Like I said, hit the like, and we'll keep doing these shows as long as you're watching. We'll keep doing them. But thank you. Take care, everyone. See you later.
Bye-bye.